So yesterday I attended this free speech seminar, or really event thing at Ole Miss, University of Mississippi, as you can see right here, right? This lady, Anna Gomez, was speaking about how she thinks the current administration is violating the First Amendment and, uh, you know, things that we've gone over, of course, which is obvious that they are, right? But as a lady that was a Joe Biden appointee and obviously pays a lot of attention to politics and is in politics, right, and has a lot more power than a lot of us. She seems really, really out of touch, and this is a problem with Democrats, especially liberal Democrats all around the spectrum. Is that you're just like she's telling us to when she was speaking, she's telling everybody to stand up and fight against the current administration, and then when you get there, she's like, "Oh, no open mic, guys. Just write on a card, and then I'll answer your question." She won't actually answer the question either. She'll just read it off a card, right? Which is fucking ridiculous and so out of touch. It's not even funny. And Democrats wonder why there's no some things that they say is no Joe Rogan of the left, and why Kamala Harris lost last year too. She wouldn't speak to anybody, right? That's one thing that the right pointed out that resonated with a lot of young people. Well, where's Kamala Harris? Why can't she go on Joe Rogan? Why can't she go on another podcast, right? Even though Joe Rogan sat out there and gave Donald Trump softball questions and let him just beat around the bush on all the questions, right? But still, he went on there and spoke for like an hour or 2 hours, and then Kamala Harris went on Call Her Daddy. So it's like, what are we even doing here? That's one thing for a free speech event, which is hilarious that you can't even take open mic questions. I like literally people just started walking out middle of the thing. There was only like 80, like probably around 80 people there, but she just got up, or a lot of some people just got up and left, right? Another thing is she was just like she was trying to tell everybody to like stand up to the current administration. And then obviously I wrote down like 4 questions. She only answered one, or the moderator who was reading the questions, he was literally filtering through the questions just to give her the most softball questions she can get. The one I asked was probably the hardest question she had to answer was, do you think Brendan Carr should step down? Because what did Brendan Carr say? We can do this the easy way or the hard way. Talking to Jimmy Kimmel, that's a direct threat. And she said, oh, I'm not going to answer that question. You're not going to answer the question. And you want everybody else to stand up. So here's the front page of what I went to here. It's you can see the college right here. It was called I forgot. It was free speech something. And then this guy right here, his name is Herman or something like that. He used to be a White House. He used to be something in the White House. I don't know too much about these people. He was taking the notes and reading them and just reading the questions off from the crowd and giving our softball questions for the most part. And then she was answering the questions at length of certain things, but wouldn't expand on obviously the hard questions. She spoke a lot about Jimmy Kimmel, but this is where I wanted to talk about her quote. It says more than 100 people were there. That's also a stretch, really. It might have been close, but it might have been around that number. But what she said was, I'm so glad to see all of you stand up because you are so important to our democracy. Gomez said it is journalists that report without fear or favor that hold power to account. And we need you. Okay. I agree with her on that because we need those people because you are not one of those people. I sent in the question of, do you think Brendan Carr should step down? Because obviously, Brendan Carr is one of the most corrupt FCC chairmen I've ever seen. He's literally on the Benny Johnson show saying we can do this the easy way or the hard way, talking about Jimmy Kimmel. I wrote on the card that do you think he should step down for that specific phrase that he said? And she said, oh, I'm not going to answer that question. Like that's ridiculous, guys. That's ridiculous. And you're talking about standing up to power and speaking at will. You're obviously fearful for your job, and I'm tired of Democrats like this. You are not doing anything. You're not doing anything by saying this. By you're going on this tour of this free speech. You won't take any free speech questions, and you won't speak up to anybody that's in a higher position than you, because obviously you're scared of Donald Trump. He's put the fear in you, and it doesn't look like it's coming out. So I'm really good. I don't want to hear from you. I just don't want to hear from you ever again, unless you're starting to speak out against what's happening. Somehow you can go to all these college campuses and say how bad it is that the administration is doing this and that. But when I ask you about the people that's doing this and that, you have no answer for that. That's disgusting, in my opinion, and really just fake and not really passionate. You just want to go to these college campuses to make it seem like you're doing something, and you're really not. And this is why, and you wonder why Democrats think, oh, why is Charlie Kirk so big? Why does the right have so many bigger influencers than us? Uh, this is one of the reasons, right? You have people like this that won't speak out, or just speak in general to people, and you just want to take easy softball questions and not talk to anybody. People like Charlie Kirk, at least, that he obviously said wrong shit, and uh, we've gone over it. I think he was racist and a white supremacist, but he talked, or he at least talked to people. He at least let people come up and talk to him, and been on Jubilee and things like that. That's why the younger generation is morally, at least for me, I've seen like more people, like people on the left. Let's just say influencers that actually talk to people. Destiny's one of them. At least he talks to people. And the Unfuck America tour that I've been seeing, Sam Cedar went on Jubilee. That's another good thing. Like just speaking to people is goes a long way, and her just doing this just doesn't make any sense. And another thing that she said was that I really remember and got out of that, because uh, obviously I learned some things about the SEC that I'll never need to know in my life. But she spoke about one thing that, or two things that really got in my head, was that what I just spoke about, and then what was it? It was, oh, they said they were going to do a strongly, or somebody, or a lot of people that were mad about this administration sent like strongly worded letters or something like that, or she sent a strong worded letter to somebody, I don't know. And I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, do you think that any of this shit is going to matter? Like, you sending strong worded letters? Like, am I hearing this correctly, bro? Like, do you know who the president is? You have Anna Gomez, this FCC chairman, talking about, first off, she can't speak against Brendan Carr, and then she says she's going to, or they're sending strong worded letters to somebody, and then you have the president of the United States posting videos like this. Like, look at them, bro. Like, this is what they think of you. This is what they think of you, Anna Gomez, and people like you, Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer. This is why the government is shut down currently as well. They've seen Democrats bend over backwards how many times? 30, 50 times, every time. Just recently this year, the Democrats are like, oh, we have the power to shut down the government now. Now the Republicans have to come to the table, and they didn't. And then Chuck Schumer bent the knee, right? And then they're expecting for them to do the same thing. Now, they got a little bit more backbone this time, because it's currently shut down, and they're standing up for what they want, is the ACA credits. But the administration is banking on them to bend the knee again, like they always do. And we got scared leadership like Gomez and Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries You can tell what they think of them. They think of them as weaklings. Look at the video of Donald Trump throwing the sombrero to or the Trump 2028 hat to Hakeem Jeffries, and then they put a video of Hakeem Jeffries with a mustache and a sombrero on, and Trump always calls Chuck Schumer a Palestinian, and like he just thinks that you're weak and that you'll end up bending the knee anyways, even though you're coming to talk to him. So I'm tired of the Democrats that are weak and they just keep bending the power, and you see this over and over again. This is why Gavin Newsom is starting to gain in the polls, because he's obviously standing up to him. He's saying things against this administration. He's saying just recently, I saw this like today, Gavin Newsom said that if I didn't get to read all of it, but Donald Trump did this something where they have to, for colleges, they have to abide by some rule. I haven't read the rule yet, to be fair. I'll probably end up posting a video about it, but I just saw it briefly. And then Gavin Newsom said, if you abide by this rule in California, then you'll lose your state funding. And Trump's saying, if you don't abide by whatever rule he put in place, you won't receive the federal funding. But if you do it, then you'll lose the state funding, right? So you'd probably rather have the state funding. So if more Democrat states do this, that would make more sense. And I mean, that's something that goes against the administration, or even Gavin Newsom's tweets. We've been going over that, which is hilarious. That's going against Donald Trump and his administration. That's good. Not you sitting up there and saying, oh, I can't answer that question, and going on free speech events and not having free speech mics. Like, this is weird. This is why people think Democrats are weird, and this is a main reason why they lost last year. So I'm good. I'm good on all the Democrats that won't stand up to the power, won't stand up to any power. I'll stick with AOC and people like that do want to actually stand up against the bullshit that's going on and not just talk about it in a weird way.